Greetings. My name is John Raphael. I am the Director of Educational Services at the National Alliance for Direct Support Professionals. And what you're about to see and what we're offering is a very brief, let's call it a mini webinar. And what it's about is a peek into the contents of our NADSP Frontline Supervisor Train the Trainer curriculum from management to leadership. We've been getting many questions. Could you tell us more about what is inside the curriculum? And can you give us a little bit more detail about what is offered in terms of activities and so forth inside the curriculum? And what we've done is we've been wanting to respond, and this is how we're responding. We're going to show you. We're going to give you a peek at what's inside our cloud-based, if you will, our online hosted curriculum. And I think that's where it's been maybe a little difficult. More and more we're seeing curricula that is not necessarily paper. And that's what we drove. That's what drove us in terms of making this particular curriculum. We wanted to do it in an online format. So that said, what I'm going to show you over the next few minutes is just a peek inside the course sites, which is where the curriculum is housed, the NADSP Frontline Supervisor curriculum. It's called Course Sites, and it's a hosting platform for these types of things. Course Sites has many applications, and there's many things you can do within the Course Sites platform, but what we use it for is basically storing all the material that you will obtain when you purchase the curriculum. So let's get to it. When you go through the Train the Trainer day, which, remember, this is a Train the Trainer curriculum, the NADSP doesn't necessarily go out and teach your frontline supervisors this material. We want to train those that are teaching and developing your frontline supervisors within your organizations with our material. And we have a day devoted to, when you purchase this curriculum, a day devoted to training your trainers. And this is what those trainers will obtain and what your organization will obtain. They'll get an access code and be able to link into this Course Sites platform. And what you're seeing on the screen right now, they'll be able to utilize the Course Sites website in terms of obtaining the material for the curriculum. And that's what I'm going to show you. So you'll get an email link, and that email link will get you access to what you're seeing right here. And what you're seeing right here is actually the Course Sites page that will open up the first time you sign into your curriculum. As you can see, it looks a little daunting. It certainly looks maybe unfamiliar if you've never used this type of thing before, but trust me, it's really simple to navigate. And if you take a look, you'll see on the left side of the screen, the left side of the page, that's that's kind of the contents of what's inside the curriculum, and I'll go over that right now. Everything within this curriculum, which includes PowerPoint presentations, videos from YouTube or the sources, worksheets, exercises, everything in this curriculum is downloadable. You can print out and take everything from this platform and put it wherever you want to put it, and use it however you want to use it. But ultimately, we don't have a paper training manual. We don't even have a CD-ROM or a jump drive or a thumb drive with the contents of our curriculum anymore. That's the future. We're using cloud-based technology, and we're proud of that. But at the same time, if you're not necessarily familiar with it, it can be a little confusing. So that's why we're doing this. So take a look when you hit on any of these links. So I'll hit on your NADSP team, and there it is. There's a picture of me. Hello, me. My contact information, a little bit about me, and also Dr. Diane Potts, who is the co-author and really one of the masterminds behind this curriculum. And when you get access to this curriculum and when you start using it, you have access to us, and you can contact us really anytime with any questions or clarifications you might need. And there it is. That's how you contact us. It's kind of cool. We have something called the trainer's room, and in the trainer's room we have just a broad overview of what this curriculum is about, kind of a sense of our history of this curriculum, how we devised it. We have sample agendas. This curriculum is probably equal to about 50 hours of training, maybe 3-4 days worth of actual, hands-on in-classroom training. But when you go through the train the trainer program, you'll see that we don't really advise you to teach it, at a day-by-day kind of format. We would rather you take this material, digest it, look at it, and maybe use some of the offerings. And ultimately, we want you to take this material and cater it to your training schedule, your training culture, your agency's culture, your organization's needs. Although it can be something that can be done, in 3 days in a row if you want to take the curriculum and do it like that. It's really up to you. We do not prescribe that. So that said, in the trainer's room here, you'll also get a sense of we just didn't, sit around, drinking cocktails and create, a bunch of activities for you. Dr. Potts really spent a long time crafting all of these activities and all of this material through universal design learning, and you can learn all about that when you purchase the curriculum. And it's really fascinating because what it does, this is a curriculum that's based on accessibility. It's based on all different kinds of learning styles. It's based on a way, how do we engage different learners? And as trainers, that's very important for you to understand that this material is really broadly appealing. And we created this universal design learning. We basically embedded universal design learning into this curriculum. Tons of handouts, as in any kind of curricula that you would get. You're going to have all kinds of worksheets and evaluation forms. We have a pre and a post survey, which we will tell you all about when we actually do the training with you, what that means, a pre and a post survey for this curriculum. All the session materials we've housed in a section here, and I'm not going to go through all these, but basically all the activities that are in the curriculum, you can find a corresponding, let me just show you here, a corresponding, whether it's a PowerPoint, a worksheet, a PDF, whatever it might be, and you can download that stuff. So here, I'm downloading something called the Professional Development Plan. I'm going to take a look at it, show you what that is. And there it is. One of the really, really cool features we're very proud of in this curriculum is we utilize the National Frontline Supervisor Competency Set that was given to us by the University of Minnesota in 2013. And we embed a lot of the material within this curriculum with aspects of the National Frontline Supervisor competencies. And so one of the things we have is a professional development plan based on those competencies. And there they are. I'm not going to go into detail in any of the things I'm showing you. I'm just giving you a sense of the magnitude and breadth and width of this material. And this is something called the Professional Development Plan that we show trainers how do you teach frontline supervisors, and how do you support frontline supervisors to create their own plan of professional development. And there it is. There's a kind of a sense of what that looks like. But again, it's a Word document that winds up getting downloaded from our Course Sites platform to your computer. Or let me just show you one more thing here. Our Code of Ethics. And when you take a look at our Code of Ethics, the NADSP's Code of Ethics, it's also embedded throughout this curriculum. And so what we've certainly, obviously, have included the NADSP Code of Ethics within the curriculum. So it's there for you to look at, to print out. And this is our revised. We revised it in 2016. This is our our code of ethics. So there it is for you as a trainer to be able to print out and utilize. So there you go. There's the handout section of the course sites platform, and as you can see, it's pretty full. Now we haven't even touched the surface yet. Let's go down to basically the 3 sections, or I'm hesitant to call them the 3 days worth of training material, but ultimately, let's for the sake of argument, the first day or the first section or the first module of materials, kind of we call it the why. It's the overall, why do frontline supervisors need development? Because we know, as most frontline supervisors have been promoted from direct support positions, and that's wonderful, and they're usually great direct support professionals going into these positions of management and supervision, and often aren't given necessarily the tools and the leadership development types of activities and education that go along with the responsibilities of being a frontline supervisor in our field. So the big picture we get into, we have a wonderful series of videos that deal with leadership. Again, I'm not going to go into the details. We call it the mothership, which is essentially the why of frontline supervisor development, and why do frontline supervisors in North America need exactly what we're offering in this material. So here is an example of one of the many PowerPoints that's available to you. As you can see, this is the overview of the curriculum, and we teach trainers how to take this PowerPoint, make it their own, if you will. We don't want anybody to change any of the material on here. It's all validated and all research-driven material. But what you can do is you can modify these slides and add your agency's logo, add your names, add your bios, your photographs, as you as trainers take this material and kind of make it yours. All of our material is rooted in essentially the 4 components of what we believe should be the foundation of any leadership development process in the United States for frontline supervisors, and it's the code of ethics that you saw just earlier, the NADSP frontline supervisor competencies, the NADSP direct support professional competencies, and ultimately what we also believe is that any development program for frontline supervisors needs to include the big picture of why do frontline supervisors need to understand the workforce crisis that is upon us in direct support in the United States. And you'll see within all of our material, especially this first set of PowerPoint slides, we have research and some data that we teach trainers how to import to frontline supervisors to help them understand the magnitude of their role in addressing the frontline the direct support professional crisis that exists. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of all these PowerPoints. I'm just, again, this is meant to show you critical pieces. Let me just show you here. Come on. There we go. Take a look. We have for New York State-based agencies, which many of which are purchasing this curriculum. In New York State, it's the only state in the country that has a set of direct support professional competencies that every direct support professional has to be evaluated against. And frontline supervisors are the primary evaluators. So what we did is we have we've added, and that's New York State organizations only, but you're welcome to look at it because it's part of this course sites. There's our national competency areas. Again, all these things can get downloaded. And again, I'm not going to show you each of the things, but you'll see everything is all downloaded or can be downloaded. Go. Let's back to home here. Leadership skills. We can't have a frontline supervisor curriculum without having a sense of the associated kind of soft skills and the kind of the technical things that frontline supervisors need to be, they're responsible for. We have a job description that's based on the NADSP direct support competencies. Really terrific recruiting and hiring and retention material, how to use realistic job previews in the course of hiring new direct support professionals. And how to do different types of interviewing and different types of interviewing techniques. Got some really terrific leadership videos, quite a few TED Talks that we've accessed and we have permission to use in our curriculum. We have homework. So as a trainer is using this in whatever format you decide to use this curriculum material, we have homework assignments, which are pretty fun and very meaningful. And the third kind of day, if you will, the third module consists of putting it all together. A couple frontline supervisor leadership discussions that deal with the why. Why do we want to do this work, and why is the role of a frontline supervisor critical, and why are direct support professionals the most important people in organizations? Difficult conversations. We have a really terrific workshop and a few worksheets that are and a video that's devoted to how to have a difficult conversation as a frontline supervisor, and frontline supervisors often have those. And again, you can kind of see, I'm not going to go through all these, but many activities, and again, PowerPoints and material that you use at your convenience and at your discretion. We have a resources and links page, if you will, and it's essentially a bibliography, kind of our references to this material. And there you go. So everybody, I'm hoping that this little sneak peek into the Course Sites platform and a few little previews of the material can give you a better sense of what is in this curriculum. We can't give you a 4-hour presentation on every piece of this curriculum, because it would take 4 hours, and that's really not something we want to do anyway. But I think by watching this particular mini webinar, we also have a companion webinar, which is a little bit longer, which gives perspectives of the use of this curriculum from 3 different perspectives: from the perspective of an executive director that purchased the curriculum for her agency, and the perspective of a teacher who teaches this, and a trainer who took this material and has taught it, and the perspective of a learner, a frontline supervisor that went through this curriculum. That's a companion webinar, which again, reach out to us and we'll be happy to send you that, and that will be accessible on our Facebook page and our web page and wherever else, or you can just get in touch with me, and I can certainly tell you and answer any questions you may have about the NADSP Frontline Supervisor Train the Trainer curriculum. So please, any questions, get in touch with me, jraphael@nadsp.org, which you can certainly also find my information at nadsp.org on our homepage. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that this has answered some questions about the content of our curriculum. Thank you.